Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday. It is July the 6th, and today we're pruning cantaloupe. I was asked by actually two people. One is Eric from Planting Seeds for Life. He wanted to know more about trellising cantaloupe. It's new for me. I actually did a little bit of it last year, and I learned a lot from what I did. And I also did a lot of squash, like vining squash, very similar to this. I'll be pruning that as well. And they're both done pretty much the same way. And the other was Patty from Spring Hill Farms. She's going to be doing a video at my request, so this was hers. So anyway, what you want to do is you want to inspect the cantaloupe first. When it gets out of control like this, and this is out of control, at least for a greenhouse. Outside, I'm going to let that go. I'm just going to let it do its thing. But in here, I need some kind of control. I need some kind of manageable plants in here, because if not, you end up with this. So what you want to do is you want to work from the end back, not from the front out, because this already has fruit. Excuse me, there are lots of mosquitoes in here. This already has fruit set on it. You can see here, pretty nice cantaloupe. You don't want to cut that vine off from feeding that fruit. And you also want to look at the ends to see what's healthy and what's not, and work our way back, because there's a lot of powdery mildew, and we want to make sure we get rid of all that. So with that said, we're going to start by just kind of separating the plant. And this is a lot easier to do on the ground than it is up there. And I tried to do that. I was going to try and video some of that, but I'm a one-man show here. I have no cameraman, so this is going to be a lot easier to show you. And as you're pulling this up, you're going to have to cut tendrils. Do not worry about that. Won't hurt the plant at all. But just be careful not to break the vine. In the end game, what you'd really like is having 2 or 1 vine per plant, per pot. May not be happening since these got this far out of control with the number of fruit, because I'm not cutting any fruit off. But I may deadhead them just to keep the fruit fed, which means I'm going to not deadhead them. Cut off the growing end so that it doesn't continue to vine. But what you want is at least 1 good growing vine so that you can continue to produce melons. Now here's an example of a vine that's not producing. In fact, it's dying. There's no growth tip on the end. It has died off. Powdery mildew or some kind of fungal infection has got this, and it's got to go. So you can trace this one back. In fact, you can actually cut it as you go, because you're not going to hurt anything. You know what's on the other end. So just kind of keep following it back and cut it off where you need to. As I was following this back, this came to another main vine. So you don't want to go past that. That vine right there may be the one feeding that plant back there. So you can remove it all the way back to here. Alright, this is a long, tedious process, and I will probably finish this video when I come home tonight because it's getting late. But I will show you what this looks like in the end. But I think you got the idea. It's basically just tracing stuff back, removing what you don't need, keeping what you do. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, as we're trimming from the cantaloupe plants, I came down and have a couple of cantaloupes here. I also noticed that all I had to do was move the vine, and that cantaloupe came off the vine, and so did this one. So those are ripe. Pretty much when they just kind of pop off like that, she's ready. We're eating cantaloupe tonight. There's a whole bunch more in there, so at some point I'm going to want to find a way to support them, because all they're going to do is just fall off. You can see I've been pretty busy, and I've really only made it about part of the way through here. But I'm finding it's much easier to go ahead and get rid of all the dead or dying leaves that the plant is killing off all on its own. It's starting to do its own little pruning. But I'm clearing off all the way up to the first fruit. Then I'm going to go from there. I'm going to find out where each one of these new vines are leading to. If there's anything on it, I'll leave it up to that point. I'm going to cut the growing tips off everything, because I'm really done in here. I'm just going to let this stuff grow. I'm going to trim it all up. I'm going to let the fruit that's on there do its thing, because I have a lot of them outside that are going crazy out there. So I'm going to free this up here shortly for tomatoes. Anyway, I'm going through cleaning up all the dead, and then I'm going to have to find a way to support these with some, pantyhose, some kind of slings. Anyway, I may just drop them to the ground, but I have a lot of them up there, so I got to figure something out. Anyway, so far, that's my progress. Progress? Yes. The hardest part of any operation, especially in this greenhouse, is just getting started. There were casualties. I can just look straight down and see casualties. But in the long run, this is going to be really good. I'm just going to trim off the rest of these leaves that have some damage. There's some yellow down there, some watermelon I still got to take care of here. And I think I'm going to get rid of all that squash down there too. While I'm at it, and I wouldn't do anything in this greenhouse without that water wall. Makes it manageable. This is the day after on the cucumbers, and looks like I've got all the dead out of there. Kind of worried. You cut so much, you wonder if you cut something that you're really wanting to leave up in there, and it gets kind of confusing when you let it go as far as I did. But there you go, Patty, from Spring Hill Farms. Challenge accepted. I hope you guys are getting some dry weather up there. We've had 2 days straight of dry weather, so and sunny days. It's supposed to be really hot today. God bless. Y'all go play in some dirt, and we'll see you next time.